Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time it is going to be on Speak No Evil. Now, this is a remake of a Danish horror film that came out 2 years ago, which I never actually heard of until reviews for this movie started coming in. And in this movie, we follow a couple who meet up with James McAvoy and his family. As they start bonding with one another, they want to get to know each other more, and they start hanging out at their place. But this family, these guys, they are very weird and start doing unusual things. And it kind of makes them seem like they're a bit crazy, and they pretty much are. So eventually, things go haywire, and knowing the fact that this is not a normal family. I mean, this one kid in the movie is mute. Hence why this movie has the title Speak No Evil. I'm not sure if it's like that in the original film, but, someone in the comments is probably going to bring it down. So, yeah, but after watching this movie, I do tend to want to watch the original. From what I've heard, it is supposed to be pretty faithful to that film, while also changing things up a little bit. But because I never watched that movie, I'm not really going to compare it to that film. But I feel like easily the big thing to sell people on this movie is James McAvoy, because we knew he was probably going to be, quite bizarre in this film, and he is. But he's that type of bizarre in a good way, because, we expected him to steal the show, and he does, because he tends to be, this nice dude, but of course, with that build-up, that he isn't what he seems to be. And I feel like the way they handle it here is done surprisingly very well. Blumhouse has really been struggling quite a bit this year in terms of new properties. And with this remake, the fact they made a remake, it's surprisingly much better than all those films. In fact, it's the best work that they've put out all year. It's not really saying a whole lot, but I did generally enjoy this movie a lot more than I thought I would. When it comes to other characters, they have very strong roles. Mackenzie Davis is also terrific in the movie as well. There are other people in this movie that definitely deserve praise for their roles. Even the kids in the movie I thought were very strong too. The silent kid I thought was very strong. But when it comes to, this couple, they definitely don't have the best chemistry together. I mean, there are two couples. There's a couple with James McAvoy and there's the other couple. But whether or not they got out of the film alive, I honestly cared a lot more about James McAvoy. Just knowing the fact that, he plays, this, crazy guy. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say he's a crazy guy. I mean, there are times in the movie where he definitely does some odd things, like yell at his son for, screwing up his dance moves when it looks like he's doing perfectly fine. Yeah, he's a bad father, pretty much. I mean, hell, we know why he's mute, so he pretty much is a bad father. But I'm not going to go further deep into the film because the movie has a lot more to offer in terms of, its exposition and what exactly the entire film is going for. And it is very slow at first, but, it's that type of slow that we expect. And while the movie, I wouldn't necessarily say is scary, it's less horror and more psychological, because things that happen in the movie are bound to completely change. And it tends to be unpredictable in certain parts too. And there's no jump scares, nothing feels like super cheap or anything like that, though there are some editing choices to the film that I felt like were a bit, off. But, I complain about that once in a while. So it's not the most well-edited film to come out. I do feel like, for the way it's filmed, it's certainly well done. So they definitely did a really good job with the sets too, though the sets really aren't anything to write home about, but, you didn't expect that. But, all I can really say about this movie is, while it certainly does, people do some really stupid things in this movie, like sometimes where you think they're making the right choice, they end up doing the wrong choice, but, I feel like that has quite a bit of purpose to it. Characters do specific things where they try to get out of situations, but they manage to go back in them. I could say the way it's handled here, I feel like, it's just due to the fact that there needs to be more to the movie, but on the other hand, I like what they did here because, it has you thinking, why didn't they just, do that one thing or do that other thing? And sure, for some people that might frustrate them, but hey, there are a lot of horror movies out there where people do the stupidest things, but the way it's handled here, I actually thought brought more purpose to the film, as I feel like it kind of had more of a reason. But in the end, guys, Speak No Evil, I surprisingly enjoyed more than I thought I would. Performances are strong. James McAvoy in particular is incredible in the film, and he's in the movie throughout a massive majority of the film. So chances are, if you came for him, you will not be disappointed. And it has a very, very satisfying last act too, which I had a lot of fun watching as well. So yeah, it's a slow-moving film, but I feel like it definitely earns that build-up, as these people, especially James McAvoy, definitely don't look like who they seem. I mean, they look like they're, that nice, family, but of course, you expect things to go haywire by the end. And yeah, it did not disappoint, though. I didn't really expect a whole lot about this movie. I didn't even know it was a remake, but it's definitely one of the better horror remakes out there to foreign films in quite a while. Some people might prefer the original. I haven't watched the original, so yeah, this movie definitely makes me want to check out that original film, so maybe I'll watch it this Halloween. But either way, I definitely want to check it out because this was a lot better than I thought it would be. Blumhouse finally has a winner here, so yeah. Who knew that, a remake is all they needed to bring this year to actually have some more hope in their career? Because, all those other movies just, I don't know what they've been doing, but hey, they did something right here. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. We're out.